Hi guys! Today I'm going to tell you an unusual story of a woman who sneered at others for doing everything wrong without even paying attention to what was happening right under her nose. Something many of us often do as well. I'm not sure if this story really did happen or if it's just fiction, but the most important thing about it is not the details, but the message it sends to each and every one of us. Samantha and George got married quite young. Their love was true and pure, so they saw no reason to postpone the wedding. They believed they were soulmates. We found a good house. Things were going great at work. It seemed that we found our place in this huge world, George said. However, as time went by, Samantha and George began to drift apart. Each had their own worries, concerns, and things to do. Everyday routine started taking its toll on their relationship, stealing its magic. While he can turn a blind eye on many things, George still realized that his Samantha had changed. She would gossip all the time and complain about how annoying her job was and that nobody lived the right way. Most of the things she said weren't exactly nice. George didn't pay attention to it at all, but over time, he realized that Samantha simply enjoyed judging others. It was Samantha's way of boosting her own self-esteem, as if rising a step above those she criticized, relishing her thoughts about an ignorant boss, a stupid employee, or the tacky clothes of an acquaintance. George repeatedly told his wife it was wrong to judge and gossip. However, Samantha denied everything, justifying herself by claiming that everyone gossiped and that it was just human nature. It could probably go on like this forever, but one day, life taught Samantha a lesson, and she realized before judging others, people need to take a look at themselves first. So what exactly happened? One day, a young couple moved into the house next to the Browns. They had it all: 2 kids, a big shaggy dog, expensive cars, and most importantly, they loved each other. However, Samantha didn't like the new neighbors. She didn't even understand why. She was probably simply annoyed by their happiness and their joyful life. So the woman was set on finding anything that was wrong with them, and she soon did. One morning at breakfast, the woman looked out of the window and noticed the freshly washed laundry put out in their neighbor's yard. Look, they aren't that perfect after all. Do you see how dirty their laundry is? We should teach them how to do laundry, or maybe recommend a good detergent, Samantha told George with a smirk. George didn't like gossiping, and therefore simply kept silent, refusing to take part in the conversation. A thought crossed his mind. I wonder, when did she change this much? After all, when we got married, she was so kind and sincere, and now all she does is search for flaws in others, the man thought to himself. He didn't show any emotions as he continued to read the newspaper, ignoring his wife's remarks. However, she started a similar conversation again a few days later. Look, they've put out dirty bed sheets again. They can't even do the laundry properly. I wonder how they put up with this mess. If I were them, I'd pack my suitcase and go take some homemaking lessons. Samantha didn't miss a chance to drop a critical remark about their neighbors. And this wasn't about the laundry. Either the curtains in their house were dirty, or the dog needed to be bathed, or the kids were running around unattended. Everything got under the woman's skin. George could no longer tolerate this, so he decided to teach his wife a lesson, the one she would most likely remember for the rest of her life. One morning, Samantha almost choked on her tea when she looked out of her window and saw the snow-white bed sheets in their neighbor's yard. George, look, our neighbors have finally learned to do the laundry, and I was just about to give them some detergent. There might be some hope for them yet, Samantha muttered somewhat sarcastically, but she couldn't have even imagined what would happen next. George quietly listened to his wife's muttering, then slowly raised his head, casting a glance at Samantha. A slight grin appeared on his face. I see, my dear, but I guess I'll have to upset you. In fact, I got up a little earlier than you today and cleaned the windows in our kitchen. No worries, the neighbors will always have clean laundry from now on, George replied calmly. Then he added, but I haven't had time to pack your suitcase yet. And then he lowered his eyes and continued reading his newspaper. All Samantha could do was look down, blushing. But at the same time, she realized what her husband was trying to tell her. She was about ready to sink through the floor. From that day on, no word of disapproval escaped the woman's lips again. Believe it or not, Samantha and George's family life began to improve. They managed to regain mutual understanding, harmony, and respect. Moreover, they even began to invite their new neighbors over for a barbecue on the weekends. It's very common to only notice flaws in other people, not seeing them in ourselves. Many of us take great pleasure in criticizing and condemning every tiny mistake someone else makes, pretending that it has nothing to do with us. But as the saying goes, don't judge and you won't be judged. After all, the higher you get, the harder you fall. It's much better to work on yourself than to look for problems in others. I hope you liked this short but insightful story. Leave your comments. Have you experienced anything similar in your life? And I'm not talking about laundry, of course. Well, that's it for today. Rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you soon. Bye.